Wimbledon Stadium may be known for its dog races, but today a different sort of dogfight for first honours is going on. The frenzy of stock car racing, tearing down the straights and into each other, has arrived. This competition is open to registered motor clubs, but also present is a small outfit from Deptford, the Ilderton Motor Project, a rehab scheme for mostly young offenders.
It's a much more effective way of stopping people from stealing cars and locking them up in prison. If they're locked up in prison, basically what happens when they come out is they stay clean for 2 or 3 months, but while they were inside they've learned how to steal cars much more effectively.
So Ilderton takes previous offenders on and teaches them to race legally. In car 600 is Mark Ritchie's. Mark's a previous offender whose conviction started in the mid-80s at the age of 13. By 19, Mark had been in and out of several prisons and had a track record of 500 stolen cars behind him. Today, the one thing he'd like to steal is first place.
I must be pretty hooked up to that car pretty badly. I tried reversing off of it, but it isn't happening. Glad I got out when I did.
Mark's race is all but over today. The Ilderton Motor Project hasn't won a single race since coming here a number of years, but Peter says it's not about winning.
It's usually the case when our lads go out, they come back with the most damaged cars and the least number of laps. But it's all part of racing.
The project claims to be successful at keeping youngsters out of trouble, a view soon to be echoed by a report from the Inner London Probation Services. Mark, who's one of the longest members with the club, says he understands why Ilderton works.
It's all excitement, it's all good fun, it's nothing illegal, and I think there should be more places like this that should be open and give the people the opportunity. I'll certainly give up crime for it, and I know loads of people who have.
The project's based here in Deptford. Its funders, the council and local probation services, meet the cost of running the place, which works out to be £40 a head per week. A figure that pales by comparison to £500 for keeping a juvenile in a secure unit. But it does have its critics, those who believe its approach is all wrong. Offenders should be locked up and not be allowed the pleasures of fixing and racing cars. But Peter West says this scheme is more effective at reforming offenders, particularly through peer pressure.
Our project is effectively a club which they come to in the evenings, they build cars and they have to make an agreement with us to stay out of trouble with the police. If they steal cars while they're with us, they have to sit before a panel of young people here at the project who make a decision about whether or not they can stay. And for young people who've got nothing else but a real addiction to cars, it's a lot to lose.
The club helped me get through my driving test, and I now drive a lorry for a living. I've got a family, I'm not in trouble with the police anymore. Things couldn't be better for me after joining the Ilderton Motor Project.
There are very few centres like the Ilderton Motor Project in the country, let alone London. This one's been running for some 20 years now, and in spite of its approach dealing with young offenders, it looks like being one of very few around for a while. The government's attempt for dealing with young offenders means abandoning things like this for incarceration, commonly referred to as child jails.